Hello, in this video I'm going to demonstrate the issue with the new mouse which I bought recently, the Logitech MX Master 3. So it has some issue with scrolling wheel in many applications, many sites on Google Chrome browser and in Edge browser, so basically it's not browser related, so the issue reproduces the same way in both browsers. So it's mostly dependent on the mouse and the side, because the old mouse which I had, which was just a $7 mouse from A4 Tech, like this one, very cheap, very simple one, it worked fine. So let's see our settings which we have currently for the mouse. Settings are done in Logitech Options Plus application. But if I use the old one, Logitech Options, it used exactly the same way, so it's not application related. So let's see what we have a configuration. So the default middle button configuration, and we are interested in the scroll wheel configuration, which is called smooth scrolling. Currently it is disabled, and as we will see later, if we enable it, the issue will start reproducing. So it's a nice cool feature which just doesn't work as expected on many sites. So at first our mouse is set into ratchet mode, as you can see. So we are scrolling mouse in small ticks, and the other option that we have is in Windows we have 6 lines per scroll at a time. Okay, now let's see the behavior, and currently the behavior will be fine because smooth scrolling is disabled currently in Google Chrome browser. So let's see first the diagram in Miro. So I am doing small actions in mouse and it does equally small zooms, so all good. Now let's see structurizer, how it works. So I have to press Ctrl here to zoom, and again sorry, my keyboard is disabled currently. Okay, I now plugged back my keyboard. Zoom, first one pretty big one, but not too big, so it's still manageable, and then fine tuning, fine zoom looks good. So at small moves we see small zooms, at larger scale we see larger zooms for some reason, but that is still fine. Let's see some mapping application. So this site, actually a deep state map, is the best to demonstrate the issue, because of it does the problems not shows the problem not instantly but in time. So one by one we will see later how the actions will apply. So now you see one move mouse and one zoom back and forth. The next site, let's see here, next map site, it's map quest. Again, small moves of the mouse results in small zooms. Good. The next site is explore or cement. Let's again try to zoom it. Again, nice small zooms. And the most popular, probably Google Maps. So let's zoom here. All good as well. So now we can disable the ratchet mode and enter the free spin mode. So the movement is in Google Maps even relatively smooth. So smoother definitely than in ratchet mode, so it's good. The next side, explore or cement, equally good and smooth. But the problem is I cannot use this free spin mode because of the middle click. The other issue, which I cannot just middle click on any links in the browser because it would anyhow move and slowly and scroll the site in any direction, just a tiny bit, just enough to get off the link and miss the click. Here we do not see a smooth behavior anymore, but still works completely fine in small increments. A deep state map, less predictable behavior, but manageable. Teeny tiny movements, even 1 millimeter causes this moves, and it's already uncomfortable, I would say, but still okay. Structurizer, this is already almost unusable. It's just too sensitive. At any tiniest move you see it being moved. Like even 1 millimeter or less causes this. And at small zooms it's okay, but at large it's just unusable. And the last one, mirror. Zoom in. Mirror works fine. Actually very good. Free spin mode, zoom. Now let's see how the new configuration and fancy features smooth scrolling works. And first let's get back to ratchet mode again. So the same settings as the beginning of the video in the first sample, but now we see with smooth scrolling enabled. So mirror. Sorry, it's still in free spin. Changing to ratchet. Okay, one tick, you see. What happens? It just zoom in like 10x at the smallest moment. It's completely unusable. The next structurizer, this is even worse, I can tell you. So see the overall overview where you cannot read anything, it's too small. Now let's zoom a little bit. Wow. And now you cannot see anything, you can see just one box. The next, deep state map. This is the best actually to demonstrate the issue. See, one movement causes couple of incremental zooms here. But for some reason now they are very small incremental zooms. Just a few days ago I tested it and it was like few zooms 2x every time. So someone probably deployed some patch already. That's that's not too bad now, I would say. As not as bad as previously. It looked like a structurizer before, so zoomed many times at one movement. But still you can see the behavior, like the mouse sends couple of commands to zoom instead of one. The next map quest. Similar behavior. One small move and many zooms. The OS maps. This works okay. Like it keeps zooming very long after you stop, but like it's not pleasant, I would say, smooth scrolling, but it is manageable to tolerate. And Google Maps, this works actually well. So you zoom something, it does zoom and stop. But this one works the best. Okay, and the last test with free spin mode enabled. I can tell that it doesn't influence a lot, but even tiniest changes in mouse position, in scroll wheel position, causes the same effects. So in Google Maps everything works fine and even smooth, but maybe too sensitive a little bit. Like very small changes causes serious zoom. And that's actually the settings for zooming, 6 lines per move, are actually very usable in other applications in Windows. And here you can see like just few millimeters of move and you can see zoom effect. And the next one is OS Maps. Similar behavior, like a little bit too sensitive, but kind of possible to get the zoom which you want. Like, but you need to be really precise with this wheel. You can probably not even see the movement of the finger. Yeah, you can. So at smaller scales it works better. The map quest. You see, I do not even move anything, and how much zoom did it result in? So it's just impossible to get the scale you want with this sensitivity of zooming. And you see, I even don't touch the mouse and it keeps zooming. The next deep state map. Yeah, someone really adjusted here the sensitivity of zoom, so they now have much less zoom than before, because before it was like 2 times every this tiny step, which you can see now, previously showed like 2x zoom. And so one touch to the scrolling wheel resulted in 10x difference in scale. Structurizer, this still works like 10x at any tiniest touch to the scrolling wheel. And mirror. Smooth but still extremely sensitive, like very tiny movements of have to be really careful to work with these diagramming tools, and structurize are just impossible to work with. Okay, so for now you can see like just how much zoom you get, and it's kind of unpredictable. Sometimes the same movement creates you less scale, sometimes more. So I'm doing the same move with finger, back and forth, and it sometimes gets you to the totally different scale. Okay, so the best workaround I found obviously is to disable the feature smooth scrolling in Chrome. So it is the only usable way to handle it, and this way it works acceptable, as was displayed at the beginning of the video. But the thing is, like, there is no point in fancy mouse with fancy features if you have to disable all of them, almost all of them, because free spin is almost unusable, because you cannot do a precise middle click in this mode. It would any tiniest change to the position would scroll you, and you will miss your middle click. The smooth scrolling doesn't work in Chrome, so you have to disable it as well. Yeah. So thank you for the video. I hope this can be fixed somehow.